Hello, yeah. Welcome back to Beyond the Reps podcast. I'm Coach K.
I'm Coach Adri. Hey y'all.
Hey. So, how are you feeling today?
We checking in, all right. Tired. You
Tired.
know what? I think I'm fake tired today. I didn't get a lot of sleep this weekend. I know it seems like every time we record, like you just said, I'm coming off of a work weekend and I work nights. So it was like no sleep. Um, yeah, so I'm here. My brain is kind of functioning, so we'll see how this conversation goes. But other than that, though, I'm good. I've been, this weekend was, although it was like no sleep for me, I was able to still stick to my plan of making sure I made it to the gym, make my workouts, and all of that stuff. Like I'm shocked actually. So
You don't look tired though. You look great.
I love that for me. How are
um,
you?
I'm doing great. This weekend was kind of nice. I did a little bit of relaxing, not too much. Broke up like all my little chores. So like,
Okay.
Friday I did laundry. Saturday I went to the gym. Started the meal prep. Sunday because we had to watch the Super Bowl because I needed to see them get smoked.
Yo,
The
so
Chiefs
the
had to
crazy.
get smoked. Okay.
I'm happy. Like, I don't really watch football. I just started watching football recently and only watched the Bills games. And I know from history, and obviously I watched the last game that we lost to the Chiefs. So I'm like, whoever they playing against, you gotta root against them. You gotta root for that team. And I was just like, fly Eagles fly. And when I was at work trying to watch it on my phone while I'm working, and it was like crazy because I'm like, yo, these boys, do they suck this bad? Because I was just like, it was like I think the point where Mahomes, he got sacked like multiple, like back to back to
Oh
back.
yeah.
I said again,
Uh huh.
again. I said, oh, these boys is getting dusted. So I was just like, yeah.
Yes. Look at you knowing about sacks.
Oh,
I'm so
listen, my
proud of
brothers
you.
played football, so I know about my brother. My brother, his I don't know what position it is, but he was the one to try to sack the quarterback.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I know I played football.
A little something,
It's just that I don't watch it. Like I can't tell you nothing about no other teams besides the Bills, and I can barely tell you about them. However, I
Yeah, we're
do
gonna
watch
work
the
on that.
games, and I started. I'm new to this. I'm new to
Okay.
actually like watching and paying attention. But I say that all to say I was rooting for the Eagles too. So
Yeah. So I wasn't gonna not work out. I mean, yeah, I wasn't gonna work out. I was gonna make that happen. I was gonna make my meal prep happen. So I needed to make sure that my Sunday was nice and chill. So that was that. So I had a nice weekend.
that's good. I'm glad.
I did.
I'm glad. Love that for you.
All right. Now we haven't done this in a little bit. A fun fact of Coach Adri.
Oh
What's
Lord.
a fun fact?
Dang, why I gotta start? I don't.
Because today is your day to start.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I done gave the funnest of the facts.
Man, I ain't gonna. You ain't never going to ever say nothing else. No, see, no. Because I don't know if you could ever like top that.
Okay, I mean, a fun fact about me is that I used to be a gymnast, and I want to get back into gymnastics as an adult. I just don't know how to do it. I don't know how to. I don't think there's adult gymnastics like classes, but yeah, I used to be a gymnast. I can still do a little cartwheel, little round off, little 1-2 in this old body. But yeah, I guess that's a fun fact about me. I used to be a gymnast.
All right. So for me, fun fact. It's like a fun fact, but also a fact, kind of.
I mean, a fact is a fact. You can make it fun.
Okay, so my whole life I loved playing softball, but I was always such a tomboy and so competitive that I refused to play softball. So yeah, so what I ended up happening was I played baseball from T-ball up until I was 14 years old. Played baseball because I just was too. I wasn't.
Oh, so you're saying like softball was too soft for you?
Yeah, I ain't soft. What I look like doing all of that stuff, girl? What? Why is that ball so big? Like I was just like, no,
Listen.
I'm trying to play for real. Like that is crazy. And why y'all throw it underhand? See, like it threw me off. And I was like, nah, I can't play softball. What I look like playing softball? So then I was killing it. Man, those boys used to be mad. But the crazy part was they broke my heart. West
Why?
Side Little League broke my heart at
Dang,
LaSalle
Westside Little
Park.
League. I hope
Y'all
you
broke my
listening to this.
heart
Y'all broke our heart.
because when I turned 15, they called it Major League. So at 15, you were with the age group, like the age, I guess, well, group, whatever. It was 15 to 18. So they're like, no, okay, you can't be playing with these grown men. You're 15. I don't care, man. I'll play them. Man, they made me go play softball.
Oh, wow.
So the fun fact is that I'm always just gonna do what I want to do sometime. But yeah, no, they really made me go play. And then it was so bad because you were like, it's the same sport, really. The ball is the difference in the pitching. But outside of that, like, I look funny because it's like I couldn't, like, how can you hit the small ball, but I couldn't hit the big ball because it wasn't fast enough. So I was like swinging and the ball's like, I'm like, oh, the ball is still like, so it was funny, like transitioning. And I'm like, this is why this is soft. Like,
well, now hold on. Well, the thing is, so when I was a kid, I tried softball. It wasn't my thing. I don't think I have really good eye-hand coordinate. Was it eye-hand coordination? Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
same thing with golfing. Same thing with golfing. I went to Top Golf, and man, that was embarrassing. I was like, dang, that's crazy. I'm gonna take the putt. But I played softball because, and I didn't like I would no desire obviously to play baseball, but softball I thought it'd be easier for me because the ball is bigger and they throw underhand. So I just knew I was gonna be okay with it, and I was like, nope, this is not for me. It's just not for me.
You're just not connected, huh?
Mm-mm.
But yeah,
But
so
don't connect.
Janaya actually trying out for softball.
Oh,
And she's doing this clinic, and she is
she
doing
good?
so good.
Yeah.
But I'm like, she's just an athlete, so but I'm a little nervous because I was a beast. So my daughter better not be out there looking crazy. Cause I'm be like,
were you a beast in baseball or softball?
whoa. I mean, once I picked it, I mean, once you figure it out, you figure it out. But yeah, so I'm a little like swim. It's cool. I could watch it and relax. But softball, I know the sport too well, so she gonna drive me crazy.
That's good though, because you can be involved.
Yeah,
you can be more involved with her training and everything.
I want her to be like me.
And well, don't live vicariously through your child. We don't do that.
So, nah, she gonna do fine. I'm excited though. I can't wait to see her. I didn't think she was gonna ever play softball. I tried to beg her to play, and she wouldn't. Now I don't know where she's like, yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm like, are you? So she's excited. I can't wait to see her.
All right. But yeah, love that.
That's that.
Okay, so before we get into today's topic of discussion, we have to address our last accountability. Yeah. So let's start with you. Your accountability was what? So you said you were gonna do.
I was to work out 4 days a week, and I did that.
Okay.
I no more push-ups. Told you I was like,
love that for you. Yeah. See, you learn. Me, on the other hand, and I'm just gonna say it. I said I was gonna fold my clothes. Clothes not folded.
What happened?
I did fold some clothes, but I think the goal for me was to fold all of my clothes.
Yes.
Didn't fold all of them, then started washing clothes again and fell right back into the same trap. So
we're going to try it again.
So it is on you to give me whatever I got to do today before we get into what we got to talk about today.
So why don't you let the world know what the lovelies are? And we need 10 of them. 5 in each side.
10 is cool. I could do that.
Matter of fact, how about 16?
Nah, you said 10. You said 10. All right, let me break it down.
I want the world to know what the lovelies are, because they are lovely. Not when you're really doing them.
We love lovelies out here. I'm glad I wore what
I should have gave you something else.
I didn't know what she was going to tell me to do. I knew she was going to tell me to do something because I knew I was wrong. But all right, here we go. Thank God I've been working out this week.
I'm not starting from scratch. Ooh, okay. Y'all see this? Lovelies. Yeah. I know that's right.
Oh.
Them lovelies are not really lovely,
Right.
y'all.
They are
She
lovely.
was smiling,
Ooh, leave my
but
sweater off.
no, no, no.
Yeah, that was good. Ooh, all right. Now
Mm.
let's go beyond the reps. Okay, guys. So for today's Beyond the Reps topic, we want to talk about body dysmorphia and watching the scale. So, to start off, I want to give everybody a definition of what body dysmorphia is. So, body dysmorphia is a mental health issue involving obsessive focus on a perceived flaw in appearance, most times imagined and minor. This causes people to always examine themselves in the mirror, compare themselves to others in appearance, not take photos, avoid events, buy clothes that don't fit you, whatever the case may be, right? Kay and I both have experience in body dysmorphia, and I know a lot of people do struggle with this on a regular basis in different ways, larger scales, smaller scales, and I definitely believe it's a topic that needs to be discussed. So, that being said, let's talk about, to open it up, I want to talk about our experiences with body dysmorphia. Do you want to start? Want me to start?
You can start.
Let me start? Okay. So for me, a huge part of my fitness journey, I know I've said this time and time again, is the fact that I have an issue gaining and maintaining weight. My body dysmorphia comes into play when I don't see myself looking the way that I think that I should look, despite how much work I've been putting in the gym, or how many meals I've been eating and everything. My clothes not fitting me the way that I feel like they should fit me, or if I look in the mirror without my clothes on and I put my clothes on, they fit differently than I expected them to. Also comes into play with the way that I view like just my proportions. I feel like if my waistline looks like it's getting too wide, I just feel like I'm 300 pounds. And then I also feel like if I'm too lean, I feel like I'm 10 pounds. So it's like I have a hard time conceptualizing what does my body, like my ideal body look like, as opposed to like what I feel like. So, and I'll be the first to admit, like, when I really get deep into my body dysmorphia bag, it translates like when I'm on social media and I'm looking at people who maybe are like my ideal body type or body goals or whatever, and I be like, I find myself comparing myself to them often. But I think I've gotten to a point now where that comparison is like, when I recognize that, I'll get off social media, because I know that it's just me being in my own head and making things worse for myself, because then I just start to do things that are just too extreme to try to get myself to get to where it is that I feel like I should be or I want to look like, But then it's like I turn around and then I would, like, the same day or the next day I'll see somebody and they'll be like, oh my God, like, you look so good, blah, 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 whatever. And they have all these compliments for me. And I'd be like, oh, girl, I don't know what you're talking. What are you seeing? Because I don't see that. So that's a huge part of my body dysmorphia. Is like, especially the whole when people tell me that I look good and I don't feel like I look that way. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I just took my measurements. I just did this. I looked at this. I don't, where are you getting this from? I was like, yeah, you don't want to be like me. Like, that's always like, you don't want to be like, I want to look. No, you don't. So that's like, I think that's my biggest issue when it comes to body dysmorphia. And I experience it more often than not. So what about you?
So a little bit is same. So for me, I would have to say, like, so with my journey, and still continue with the journey, is when I was chasing like the ideal look. So when I started my journey, I don't know, I was like 268, I think it was. And then I kept saying like, oh, I want to get back to like 190. And I went hard and I got down to 200. And then everyone was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "What's wrong with me?" So
They
then,
said you look
but
sick.
I thought I wanted to. Yeah, they did. They definitely did. I'm like, no, I ain't doing no pills. I was just been. I know y'all see my stuff. I be working out. Mm-mm. But when I got there, then like my bones were kind of like hanging out, and it was just a lot. And I was like, okay, no, maybe not 190 because at 200 I look like this. I don't know what I will look like
10 pounds lighter.
10 pounds lighter. So I was like, no, I'm gonna go back. So like my ideal now, like 215, I look like solid. That's like for me being 5'7" and just the way my body is. But like I was always like the numbers was something, you know. I just felt like the number was whatever. But then I started realizing that for me was like the pictures. So I didn't. I tried to go back and like, oh, I wish I had pictures of like when I was bigger. The dysmorphia part came in because I didn't like to take pictures. Like I hate that I can't go back to like before pictures. I have the same three pictures. Like I don't have no pictures. I don't have no videos of me not being able to do certain things that I could do now and things like that. Um and like my mind, although like I was small, I never felt small. So I never felt small till people be like, "Oh, you look good," or you look like you look so small. How did you get so little or whatever? But I never really felt small ever. Although I could see the difference, and like if I will put a before and after picture next to each other, that was like the only time I will see the difference. I'm looking in the mirror, clothes on, clothes off, and I'm like, I still look the same. But it's like, how can you possibly look the same, Kay, if you went from 268 to like 200, but I just didn't see it like until I had pictures side to side. um so then like actually recently with me dealing with RA, I went up a little bit, but then I dropped down again, and I just switched positions, and I just these people have not seen me in 6 months, and they're like, "Oh my God, look at you! You still holding on? You still got it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, uh-huh." But I just experienced not too long ago, because I did gain like 10 pounds. I just experienced again where I feel huge, but I'm like, "Hey, you're not 268 anymore.
Yeah.
Like you're not." And sometimes I forget, and I will go to the plus size, like because I always feel like let me start bigger size, because I'm gonna be mad if I try my regular size that I know is gonna fit me, but I just can't connect. So I still struggle with it. Some days I better than others. Some days I'm like, yo, I look good. Then like other days I'm like, oh no, like what's happened? And then I will take a picture. Like let's say if I go to an event sometimes where I in the morning feel like you said, I'm 300-400 pounds. And then I take a picture. I went to an event and I'm like, oh, I look good. And then I'm like, girl, you was crying earlier. And now like, so it's so crazy that this is real. Like it's real.
And the point that you mentioned about the picture thing, that's a big thing. I didn't take, it's so crazy. When I first started my fitness journey, I have literally one picture that I can go from, like, because people look at me and they say, like, oh, you must have always looked like this. Like, this is blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. I was like, I have one picture, and we're going to insert it into this video at some point so y'all can see it. And I only have this one picture. It's the only one I could find that I actually had. And you know it's old because the phone that I have in my hand and I took the picture with was one of them joints that the ones that like slide up.
The
Sidekick,
with the
kind of sort of like one of them like the little keypad and it closed. I love that. It was cute, but yeah, that's how old it was. So, but it was like literally I was so small, like so small to the point where like in the picture I have on like a tank top and it's like in like jeans, and this is when right before I started my fitness journey. I had lost all of that weight, and I was so like depressed about it. My clothes were not fitting me to the point where in the picture you can see the jeans that I have on. They were like bunched up in the front, and I had a belt on, and I had like literally the way my fanny pack looked. This is how big that bulge was, where the buckle from the pants and the belt and the pants were. And I was just small, like so small. So from that picture, I had no arm definite, like it was just whatever. So and then the phases that my body have went through since then. I've been leaner, I've been thicker, I've been whatever. When I did my show, I was like really really small, and even when I did my show, it was like body dysmorphia was a thing because I was like, I'm not ready to get on the stage. I was like, I don't look no different. I look the same as I did 8 weeks ago when I started this prep, whatever. So, and then looking at myself on stage and looking at myself like in the morning when I woke up and I had like actual pictures and videos, I'm like, that was me. I look like that for real. Like, that's crazy.
You
so
crushed it,
the
though.
photos are so important. I feel like, especially to see like how much you were actually tripping, like on like that part of it. And I know you mentioned like as far as like buying clothes that don't necessarily fit you.
Let's talk about this because you're literally my witness. So I got invited to go to a Christmas party in this last two months ago or whatever, and I had this look that I was looking for. So I went to go buy these pants. I'm about to show y'all because I have to show y'all at this point. I have to show you guys. So this is because I gained a couple pounds, because I'm dealing with RA and we're trying to figure that out. However,
and y'all, she was tripping. Like
I almost didn't go to the event.
She was really making me mad. But go ahead.
When I went to the store and I bought these pants, right? These pants, I just knew I was gonna fit them. These were it. Yeah. Y'all see this?
I did not mean to laugh that loud.
No, but for real, because this is real and this is crazy to me.
because it looked so crazy. Okay.
It looked crazy. And I'm glad that I never returned them. And I'm glad this topic came today because this was 10 weeks ago, y'all. Like, I'm still struggling.
Put it up to your body, please.
Nah, look at this, bro. Why did I think this, though?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at how ridiculous it looks.
Because this is ridiculous. But it's just real to let people know, like, it's real. Like,
and so let's unpack that because I really want you to tell them, like, what was your thought process when you picked those pants up? When you went looking for those pants and you brought them home, what was your thought? What was your thought process? Go ahead.
Because I was like, you know what? I had the look that I was looking for. I said, okay, I want some cargo pants so I could wear my little booties, and I wanted to wear like a bodysuit so it could be tucked in and it'd be like, And I don't know. I just kept saying, like, I just have a hard time getting into. And the crazy part is that about all this is that my size, they had my size.
In those pants.
And I did not get them because when I put them up, I'm like, and the crazy part was it was just me looking at them, right? So when I look at them, I was like, nah, I can't fit this. Because I gained 10 pounds. Like, so you think this is like 2 sizes up, but like, it's not, I don't even know if it's 2 sizes up because it's plus size. Girl, I don't wear no 1X. I'm on size 15. What was I even doing? This is a 1X. But because I looked at the 15 and it looks like, to me, it looked tiny. But at the moment, I just felt so big. And I'm like, well, where did I go? Where I was back. I'm like, all right, well, when I was 268, I was a 2X. So maybe the 1X. I'm like, this is perfect. Yeah, this is going to fit me. And then went home and put this outfit that I wanted. And I sent it to all my girls in the group chat. They were like, no. Absolutely not. And I was like, when I went home and put it on, I was like, this is crazy. Like, I'm like, they're too big. They're not even fitting me how I want it. And they're like, yeah, because you got a 1X. Like, that's not your size. But I felt like that when I went to go buy it. Because when I compare my size to that, I felt like there was no way I was going to get into the 15.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's really nice. And just looking at it, it's just like, what were you thinking? Like, and the thing is, like, I was around you and I see you, so I'm like, nothing about you looks that much different to where you should be. And I didn't know at the time that that's what she bought. I didn't know. I just knew that what she showed us in the pictures, and I said, that ain't it. That's all I knew.
Oh
I didn't know that
man.
you went to the extreme of that, but I also know that, like, even when we were planning to go to DC,
Oh
and
gosh.
you were back and forth about this ain't gonna fit me, this ain't gonna fit me. That I'm like, no, this be like, and we were just trying to like, no, you be all right, like
Yeah,
it's
and
fine,
that blue
and
dress.
yeah, and
I had to go down the size again
it
because y'all
stressed me
told me
out.
not to get it.
Yeah,
You and Lex both said that's gonna be too big, and I'm like, no, it's not because. And then I put it on, and it was too big. They're like, why are you not buying your regular size? And I'm like, I don't know. I just kept thinking. I'm doing better, yeah.
and she looked real good in that dress she got too. She looked real good.
A lot of people love that
A
dress.
lot of people love that dress. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, right. So I also want to touch on before we move to the next point. Um, and I know I want to touch on it because I know it has a lot to do with like my experience with body dysmorphia, and and I don't necessarily know if it is relatable to you, but I'm sure it's relatable to some of y'all out there. Social media.
Mm.
Social media is a huge contributor to my body dysmorphia. Um, I'm learning now more to kind of look back on my own videos and my own pictures and my own posts, but it doesn't take a whole lot for me. Like if I'm in a funk or I haven't worked out in a couple of days, and because I know my struggle with like weight gain and maintaining weight, if I'm fall off just for a couple of days, like it's really that drastic for me. So if I'm off for a couple of days and I know I'm getting back, but I get on social media and I just happen to be scrolling, my algorithm shows me. I mean, most of the people that I follow on Instagram are people who are in the fitness space, and they're mostly 90, probably 98% of them are women.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at all of these women who are in the fitness space and they look good, and I'm like, wow, like she looks so good. I wish I looked like her. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
wish, I can get my body to, get my waist to look like this, my legs to look like that, whatever, whatever. And it's just like, also, and this is just more so, I think about like, and it may just, I feel like this may also be like a point of body dysmorphia too, as far as like, what I look like is that I have like this like complex about my boobs. And it's like, if I look at some girls and their boobs are bigger than mine, and they proportions look different. Obviously they look different because they have bigger boobs and bigger whatever hips. I don't have hips either. So it's kind of like I'm looking at these women whose bodies are different than mine and not realizing that we probably are the exact same size. It's just
Mm-hmm.
that I'm looking at them in a way like, I wish I looked like that. Well, girl, no, that's not how your body looks, and you know what your body's supposed to look like. But if I'm in a mental state of like, I'm already off. You know,
Mm-hmm.
looking on social media does not help, and I would say it took me up until probably like the past like year, I was able to actually like pinpoint when I was getting into that type of funk. I'm like, yeah, now it's time for me to log off. You know, I gotta go back and I gotta stay off of social media for a little bit. And sometimes I'll have like a hiatus, because I have to get myself back like mentally so that I'm not like doing that comparison thing, because when that comparison thing comes into play, like it's not good.
It's not.
It's not good. I think
Mm-mm.
I go to like the extreme of doing things, um, you know, to the point where it's like, why am I trying to find? And then I'll go to the extreme. Like I've been in places where like at points in my life in my journey that I'll go to the extreme of like just incorporating different things that I've never done before when I know the formula already.
Mm-hmm.
It's like me knowing the formula, knowing what I got to do, and then straying away from that to try something different because I feel like, oh, I need to do this and this and this in order to get this. Like, no, you don't have to do that. But I think I take it to the extreme. I have taken it to the extreme. I don't do that no more. But I've taken it to the extreme where I'm like picking up supplements I've never used before and trying like different things that like different workouts that don't make any sense at all. But just because I've seen somebody do it on social media, I'm like, well, maybe I should start doing that. Like, no, that's not really what you got to do. So, like, I think the social media has a huge influence on like my issues with body dysmorphia, but I am so thankful that I've learned to disassociate myself with that and like kind of remove myself from that arena when I feel like I'm getting to that point of comparison.
Yeah, so I would have to like, you know what? Same thing for me. That's really to be honest, why I also got rid of my personal, because
Mm.
for my business page, I'm a like quick to like post my reel, post whatever I got going on for the business, tag our podcast stuff like that. But I'm in and out
Mm.
because a lot of my business is just business.
Yeah.
So because the same reason, and for me, honestly, it was like when I got to like that 250, when I went to the 200, but then like the difference between 200 and 215 and 215, I was like, oh, I look good. And I'm like, as long as I can maintain there, like I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
So like now that's the picture that I go to because I have that perfect picture that I'm like, yeah, this is where I feel comfortable. I didn't feel weird with whatever I was wearing. Like I was real comfortable. And when I got there, I'm like, all I gotta do is tone out and maintain. But I will have to say, like, in his last 8 months battling the RA and like the inflammations being off, I could work out today. No, I can't tomorrow. I work out today, and then gaining the weight because of like not working out and stuff like that, and just inflammation and things like that. I'm like even now I'm like trying to get back to the 215,
Mm.
and I'm like sitting here like almost like going crazy because
Yeah.
social media, I'm like like, and then it took me one day to see someone post, and it was like five different women, and they were all like the same. I don't know, it was like 140, and every single one of them looked completely different.
Different.
And then I was like, see, and then you go and compare yourself, like, well, I want to be, I don't know, like when I was saying I want to be 200, put a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of women that are 200, so you're pushing for that, but it's like,
It's not gonna look the
and you're
same.
just gonna drive yourself crazy. So when I realized, like, and for me, it was just like, I wouldn't even try to find things to do. Like, it literally, I would just be breaking out crying, like, cause I'm just like, wanna get back to there, or I want to look like that. When I saw how much mentally it was like messing with me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, there's no way. But it's crazy because I don't think we have ever talked about this. So for a long time, I thought it was just me. So to just even know, like, we have two completely different journeys,
Mm-hmm.
and to see that we both battle with that, or it
Yeah.
could be an issue sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that we both figure out when that, when you get to that point, and you just
Mm-hmm.
have to know, like, I don't know, like mentally it's not worth it to like, so I had to learn the hard way to like stop comparing.
Mm.
Like, so like you said, I have my picture of myself, and that's the picture that I go to. You want to figure out how to get back to where you want to be, that's the picture you got to look at.
Right.
And because not everybody's the same.
Yeah.
Like what might take someone to get to where you think you want to be is something completely different. And
Mm-hmm.
I realized that like through my journey, and for me was like I had to lose. And the hardest part for me also is the fact that I'm a mom. So
Mm.
my body now is completely different than, so that was my ideal, was trying to get back to K at 20.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm about to be 35 with a 12-year-old. Like, and my body completely changed. And that's where a lot of the stuff like kind of like was hard for me because
Mm-hmm.
I went from 21-year-old, not one stretch mark, no nothing. Now here we are, had my baby at 22, and now I got stretch marks. I got a little extra skin, little belly that I'm like, it's hard. It's
Mm-hmm.
hard to get rid of. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I don't got no more baby weight because she's 12. I do. I don't care what nobody say. I still got some baby weight. So, but just even that, like, I would have been able to do that then, but it's just your body completely changed. So then that was another thing that was like a body dysmorphia for me too, because I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like I don't know, but social media definitely is dangerous. So I just stay away from it because I just know myself, and I know how deep I could put myself in a dark place just from watching and comparing. So I seen how bad that was for me mentally. So yeah, I could tell when I'm gonna go there. So that's why I'm like, nope, I'm getting rid of my personal, because that's, I feel like, where I was following a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
where at least the business is just like, it is what it is, and I'm
Right.
in and out. So there's no scroll. I don't even scroll. I just post and go. So, but yeah, I would
Right.
have to agree. It's no good.
Yeah. So you have our next
I do. So our next topic is how does the scale contribute to our fitness journey, whether it's like hurtful or helpful? I'll start with that one only
I was gonna
because I
say
say
because I know because yeah. Go ahead.
I'm gonna start with it. So the scale is, I don't know. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. The scale is your enemy. I don't care what nobody say. I have a hate love with that scale, but I'm much better now. So for me, the hardest part is that my dad is a professional boxing coach and manager. So growing up, when he like helped us with fitness and training and stuff like that, when I used to box and all that stuff, you have to hit a weight. Like everyone has a weight class. So like when you're off season, these dudes be like 30, 40 pounds off their weight. You know what I mean? So like as a boxer, you almost have to get on that scale in the morning, get on the scale at night, get on the scale in the morning, because you got to make sure that by the time you weigh in, you hit that. Because if not, they gonna take some money off. You know what I mean? Or like the title won't go through because you didn't hit your weight. So like I always just heard my dad like, get on the scale, get off the scale. So it was more like I used that like how it did help me because it kept me on track when I was like doing my macros and stuff like that. So it did help to hit goals. The problem for me was when I went up, then that was hurtful because now I'm stressing. Now I'm trying to either cut the calories, cut here and there because now I feel like I did all that hard work and now I went up a pound. Went up just 1 pound would drive me insane. 1 pound. So I'm like, I had to learn how to like have a relationship with the scale. I really did. And it also, we had to insert that one picture too. When I was like, I have a picture of me when I was like 212 versus like 215. And the difference is crazy. But if I would have went by that scale, I would have never believed it.
So you
that
saying the
3 pounds.
So are you saying that you look better at 215 than you did at
Yeah.
212?
Completely like tone, like the definition of my body. But to think that, and it looks crazy because the 215, like I even look way smaller than the 212. So just to even show that the number's higher, but I look smaller than the 212. So I'll have to find that picture so we go through it so you guys could see it. But yeah, so I had to say for me it's more hurtful than it is helpful. Because it just kind of just throws me off. But I'm learning, and that's why now I had to say in this last like year, I don't even get on all like that at all. Like I think even in this last 8 months going through what I'm going through, I know for a fact don't even get on because don't even do it because I know I'm going through a whole complete different stuff that we're trying to figure out. So pictures. I encourage people pictures. Take pictures and get off the scale. Get off. Get off.
And it's crazy because I feel like not when we first met, but like when we first started like building a relationship and then you telling me about your fitness goals and stuff like that, and I was helping you out, it was like I kept telling you, stay off the scale. Don't watch the scale because your body recomp is more important than what the scale says. So like you may be like you said, your 212 and your 215 look different, but you look better at 215 than you did at 212. So it doesn't necessarily matter what the scale says as long as like you're feeling better and you're looking better, you know. For me personally, I do use the scale as a measuring point a little bit because I am trying to gain weight. But I also know that the scale can also be tricking me. Because sometimes I'll be looking at myself in the mirror and I'll be like, oh, I look like I'm bigger. And I get on the scale and I'm much, much lighter much smaller and much lighter than I anticipated. So that being the case, like, it's so crazy because most recently, like, I'm going on vacation in a couple weeks. So I'm trying to like get my weight up, but make sure I'm doing it, you know, in a good way. So I'm not gaining too much like fat, you know, the whole thing. And because I keep getting sick, like I don't know what's going on. But honestly, when I went down to Houston, my last day there, I started feeling sick. And the crazy thing, do you want to know what else? I did not even drink. Like I don't. Well, let me take that back.
Look,
I
I'm like,
drank,
you in what?
but I didn't drink to the point. I didn't drink like I would on a regular birthday. Like I
Okay.
literally had like, I want to say the whole time I was down there, which was like what 4 or 5 days. I probably had 5 cocktails the whole time I was down there, and my one birthday shot. I didn't even have no shots like that. I had one shot. I always take a shot at 8 p.m. That's the time I was born.
You was born, yeah.
And that's it. That's literally, that's crazy because the year before, last birthday, I was like 32 shots. 33 changed me. So
you getting old, auntie.
Ooh.
That make her catch up on you.
I literally, so it wasn't even that I was eating bad. I was eating clean for the most part. So but my sister told me that like the flu was going around or something down there. So it must have caught me my last day. And I was like, I thought it was just like some postnasal drip. Girl, I got home. I had a fever, and I think I texted you. I told you I had a fever after she picked me up from the airport.
I'm like,
but
that's crazy.
I say all that to say that I had a hard time, not a hard time, but it took me a minute to get back on the wagon. I'm like, why would the sickness come now when I knew I was going to come home and just get right back to it? I worked out when I was down there too. So I was like, so I was like, okay, my momentum. And then I just kind of came back down. So now at that point, immediately, as soon as I got off my sickness, I got directly on the scale.
Oh no.
I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm like, I'm so small. But the good thing about me now is that I know my body. I think I know my body most of the time. So I can look at myself and say, I can get on the scale and be like, okay, I know I'm probably like 144 right now. I said, give or take a pound. And I usually be spot on. I kid you not. What's today? Monday? Friday. Was it Friday? I kind of want to go back and
when
look.
you post it.
Yeah.
Big mama. Hey, big mama. I saw it.
Shocked. Because I'm gonna put a photo in this too. Because I took a picture of, I was trying to like get into the habits now that I'm back in the gym. My routine. I'm trying to take a picture every day to see what I look like by the time I get to vacation.
Okay.
Just to see, like, my body recomp, if I look the way I feel, all of that stuff. And I took the picture and I was like, damn, I said, I'm probably not there yet, but I feel like I'm close, I feel like I'm like maybe within a pound or two. And my goal is always to hit 150 and stay there. Or, if I exceed that, that's great. I've hit 150 before, but I don't think I never hit past that.
I haven't seen it.
I literally took the picture. I'm at the gym. I took the picture and I was like, okay, let me get on the scale. See what it is. And I was going to be like a side by side. This is me here, that type of thing. I got on that scale. I just said 151 point something. I said, and then I got off the 1.4. I got off the scale. Went back. I didn't have, like, I make sure I don't have my phone on me or nothing. Just me and my body. I got off the scale. I said, maybe it's tweaking. You didn't believe it, huh? I left, came back, got back on the scale. It went right back to the same numbers. I said, I know that's right. So me not focusing on like the scale, like an everyday thing, like I used to, like getting on the scale, like where I'm at right now. I got to that point. I'm like, I don't look like I weigh that much though, but this is where I want to be. So then that actually changed my mindset. In that moment, that changed my mindset as to like, why am I getting on the scale? Because I could look like, if more so I'm back to like training like an athlete, because I don't want to lose my athleticism, especially as I get older. Oh my goodness, as I get older, things are different. So like my training is different now than it has been over the past couple of years. I'm getting back to my athleticism. So for me, it's like, I'd much rather be like, I'm not necessarily focused on like how, and like I say all the time, don't chase the look, chase the lifestyle, how I look, as opposed to like how I can perform. And I know that and that's how I started my journey. And it's kind of going back to my fundamentals, is that like I started it. I want to be able to lift this. I want to be able to do this, run this long, whatever the case may be. The results came with the work that I was putting in, not necessarily what I was trying to like mold or sculpt my body into look like, or what the scale said. So for me, in that moment, it changed my relationship with the scale, because I'm like, I'm looking at myself and I'm like, I do not look like I'm bigger. I'm heavier than I've ever was, I've ever been.
Right,
But I'm
right.
where I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, is this really what I'm chasing? Am I really
Oh my
chasing
God,
the
that's
weight
so
gain?
funny.
Or am I what am I
What are
chasing
you
now?
chasing?
What am I looking at? Am I really trying to like say, oh, I weigh this much and blah blah blah? And it's like, yes, I do, but like honestly, I don't feel like my measurements don't match what it say.
Exactly. So that's funny you say that, because we have a little group chat going where we hold each other accountable. We had a little poll that little sis be holding us. Oh, she don't be playing.
Oh
She
my
send
gosh,
that poll
she
every
be
day.
on it.
Lex be on us.
I'm like, listen,
I'm like,
sick.
that's right, little sis. But
Shout
it's
out to
funny
Lex.
because I had all that stuff on mine, and that's what she asked me the other day. She said, "Do you what are we changing?" Because now that you say that, I was like, you know what? I said, I'm done trying to like do the same thing. I said, I know what I look like and what I want to look like my 215. I know, and I don't even have to get on the scale, because I don't know exactly, because I know the clothes, what I'm wearing, how the clothes fit me, and I'll be like, yep, I'm 215, because I will know just from how the clothes fit, how I look at myself, all that stuff. But it's so funny because when I said this 90-day challenge that I got going on, and I said once I'm done with that, I'm completely changing how I'm doing stuff, because I'm doing the same thing. I said I'm going by PR now. I'm going by keeping my mile, whatever number I want, like different type of measurements. Like I literally said the same thing. Like I don't want to. I want to go by performance now. Like, all right, so I'm kind of keeping track a little bit of like, okay, how heavy did I did this or whatnot. Like, all right, and like I for the most part like always kept my mile a little bit under 10.
That's good.
So I was like, I need to get back to that, because I like right now, I think I did it not too long ago, and I was like at 11. So I'm like, I'm a little over, a little out of shape. But I was like, those are the things that I now said when I do these, like keeping me accountable. It ain't no number no more. Yeah. I'm not doing a number. I'm not doing a pant size. I'm not doing a shirt size. I'm not doing any of that. I'm measuring different. And because I'm getting older, so I don't want to not be able to do certain things like you just said. So that's another reason why I was like, I'm changing how I'm about to have my people and my support system hold me accountable. So that scale ain't gonna matter no more, because we're not going for a number. And yeah, so that it's interesting that when we get older, how we gotta switch on stuff.
That's so crazy.
But we still moving. Yeah. Hey, that's what matters.
I know, right?
We can still move.
Praise the Lord.
God.
Yeah, so I guess like both of our, I mean, I can't say that the scale for me is hurtful. Sometimes I can't say it's ever hurtful for me. I can say that it's not always helpful, because just prime example of what I just went through. However, it does kind of help. It can be helpful, and depending on like where I'm at and what I'm doing, that type of thing. So
yeah,
okay, we like that.
Yeah, I like that, because like I said, for me it's just get out every day. I'm not doing every month, none of that. It's just here and there's a good check-in. It's good to check in here and there, but yeah, I would say, I mean, I have days it was helpful, days it was more hurtful, because of course if it's how far are you gonna take it?
Yeah.
How far are you gonna take that number? How far are you gonna like let that number destroy you, and it doesn't mean nothing, because you should really be going how you feel and how you look, and as long as that looks good and you feel good, that should matter.
Yeah. So, what solutions like do you have to combat body dysmorphia? I know we kind of touched on them, but kind of like to kind of bring it together. What I know we both mentioned the photos. I think the photos is huge. Photos, videos, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But also, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, because I'm just thinking about my experiences, I'll look. But I think I just talked myself out of that one because I was thinking about things that videos and photos that I had back when I started my journey 14 years ago, almost 15 years ago now, right? Um, a 15-year difference is huge.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to believe. Like, sometimes I look in the mirror and I look at myself, my face, and I'm like, I'm not that old. But then I'm like,
We don't look old. That's another thing. And then, like, for me, I'm like, so sometimes that's another thing that I had to always remember, like, honey, you about to be 35 this year. I know,
things are
look it,
different.
but it's different though too, because like when you go through your journey, it's just even learning, like it is what it is as a woman, like, and even just going from not having kids to having kids to getting older, like it's that life change, but the lifestyle stays the same, you know. So like even for me having to go from, it's just some stuff that I just never, like my balance sometimes, and I still be a little off, but that all happened after I had 9, and sometimes I'll be like, huh,
Man,
great.
Shout out to the women in the world just carrying kids, man.
Can't wait for you to have one day.
Wow.
I need a nephew. Just saying.
Yeah, I hear this.
Well, she's like, on that note, what's the next topic?
We're just gonna talk about our solution. So, but no, I was saying that to say that, like, I obviously don't look like this anymore, and I don't do these things anymore because I'm not that person anymore. So it's like, but it's not like I'm incapable of doing. It's just that those things I can't compare myself to, like, oh man, I used to do this all the time. I do not want to be one of them people. Oh, back in I used to. Don't nobody care what you used to do. What are you doing right now?
No.
So I definitely don't want to do that. But yes, I definitely say would like take like pictures and things like that, especially like within the time frame, within the couple years or whatever it is that you've been on your journey. Taking pictures to combat that body dysmorphia, or even taking pictures in the midst of your journey.
Yes,
like do it in a let's a week by week basis, and then seeing like what the consistency is. Like, what do you look like now? What do you look like then? I feel like that's a good way, a solution for me personally to combat body dysmorphia. Also staying off of social media.
Yeah, that's my number one.
Yeah.
Off of media.
I would say stay off social media for sure.
So yeah, same. So for me, like I would say pictures, and so like that is what helped me. And even the like, no social media. I mean, have social media, but just don't be looking and searching what you want to looking like and comparing stuff like that. And like the skill, just learn to have a good relationship with it, because it's not always hurtful. Like I said, it helped me sometimes, but you just gotta it's a balance for everything. But the only other thing I would say is, like, for me, I have like a outfit that I just know, like, I want to fit, so I use that as a measurement. So I have right now I actually have the red dress. Remember the red dress from DC?
You had a red dress in DC?
I didn't wear it because I didn't like it, and you guys were like, "Are you tripping? You should bring it." And I never brought it because I was like, absolutely
that's why
not.
I don't remember it, because I don't even know what it looked like.
So that sometimes helps. Is having that one outfit that you really like and want to fit a certain way, like whatever way you want to look in it. So that is a measurement that people could use, like, for like something. And then you don't really necessarily have to chase the scale. You don't have to chase anything besides try that dress on here and there. Okay, where I'm at, how do it fit, or even the jeans or whatever it is,
Right, yeah.
That might be helpful for some people. I don't know.
I used to do that with my, like, when I first like started my journey, getting into, like, I had like this pair of leggings that I had bought from, like, I don't know, I think it was from like Shein or something, and for whatever reason they fit, but they didn't fit right. I said I want to fill these pants out, and like I want to be like busting out the seams, like out,
busting out the
so where I couldn't wear them no more. You know what I mean? So I wanted to fill them out, and once I got to that point and I filled them out, I was like, okay, I threw them away. I was like, I can't wear these no more. They too small for me now.
Small.
Before they was like, they were too big, then they kind of fit, then it was like, now they too small. football. I was like, okay, I did it.
See, you
Now
did
I'm out of it. So
it.
yeah, and then like also it's kind of like a lot of the clothes that I have. Like that's another thing with the sizes. Like I have leggings at home that I bought in like a size small, and it's like they don't fit me no more. And I'm like, damn, I just bought these, you know. But at the same time, it's like it's not like they're too small for me. So I it's like I want to get rid of them, but I'm also like, what if I lose the weight again and I can get back in them? So I'm trying to like keep myself away from that, holding on to things that no, like it's like no, hold on to no longer serve you. Like it's like if
Yeah.
they're too small for me and I don't want to be that size, why am I holding on to
Get
them?
so you know how long I hold on to all my 2X? That's another reason why my business is called 2XL, because it is two meaning to that.
Oh, not a double entendre.
It is because it's me. I want to help you to excel your
Okay,
goals.
that's what I thought it was
But
for. But go
to
ahead.
excel is because I was a 2X in shirts and 2X in pants when I was a two as my at my biggest at 268. And I told myself I would never want to go there. I had bins because at one point I was going up and down, up and down. And I'm like, this is crazy. I'm not gonna keep. I was wasting so much money buying clothes all different sizes. I had my 2X clothes and bins on the what if I ever get that big.
Mm.
But then I laugh at this thing. I'm so happy, guys. I'm so happy I was able to show you because this wasn't even planned. Like, so I'm so happy this really, I have this because just think about that's a 1X, imagine a 2X.
Wow.
I have bins of all my 2X clothes that I would just didn't want to get rid of. And one day, I don't know what came in. I was like, you know what? I said I would never look back and be 2X ever again. And I mean, I've been doing great with that. But it took me 8 months before I threw all the bins out. And I was like, accept that, okay, you said you never want to go there, but why do you have it? 8 months before I actually was able to like accept and know and feel like I would never go back there.
And we know, listen, ooh, and that does not just apply to clothes. That applies to everything. So if you know it's something that you're not trying to go back to and is no longer serving you, let it go.
Please.
Let it go. Promise your life is gonna be 10 times better. Okay, so that's good. I think that honestly is a good like way to wrap it up too.
Yeah.
And also, as I always say, don't chase the look, chase the lifestyle. I think that also helps with body dysmorphia. Like you keep chasing the look, you always, and that goes to our fellas too. I hope y'all listening because I know a lot of guys. I know a lot of guys who like would be like just trying to get their weight up. That's always like, I gotta get my weight up, gotta get my weight up. Or if you're on the opposite end of the spectrum, they want to get the weight off, right? But then they're immediately looking for 6-packs.
Yes.
And, you know, big shoulders, big chest, and all of that stuff. And it's like, bro, like, just do the journey. You know, you don't even know, especially if you're coming from a place, guys, if you're coming from a place of you've never been in that situation before, you've never had the body type that you're looking for, you coming from, I don't know, let's say like a overweight or you know, a body composition that's not like tight and toned, don't expect that to happen just because you're going to the gym and pressing the bench every day or whatever you're doing. Like, keep that in mind. Like, just go through the process, go through the journey. Once you find out what your body actually is supposed to look like, then you can just start tweaking things and starting to look a certain way or whatever the case may be. But don't compare yourself to nobody. Don't expect yourself to look like somebody just because you and somebody may be the same size. You know, it's not going to look the same. No. And I think that's a huge thing, like, that I find with a lot of guys that I know. Like, one of my best friends, he, like, would be like, oh man, I'm trying to get the weight down, whatever the case may be. But he's just a big, solid dude. So it's kind of like, I know he knows what his body's supposed to look like when he wants to look a certain way. But at the same time, it's kind of like, you know, you can't necessarily always compare yourself to, you know what I mean? So,
right. Yeah.
Yeah, fellas too. Like, I know this conversation is for everybody because I know that y'all expand. If y'all do, please leave us some comments and let us know because I would really like to know, like, what is your experience with everybody? Leave us comments, but especially guys. Like if y'all listening to this or watching us, what is your experience of body dysmorphia? Like I would love to know like what that is because I know like in my personal life with the people that I have around me, what their issues can be and what those when those issues arise. But I would like to know like what's the experience with the guys like.
I actually just had a conversation with someone about that, and yeah, like he has an ideal of what he
Body
wants,
type.
like body type, and just coming from a like smaller, thinner body, but want to get bigger. So but I never asked about, you know, how does it like not affect you, but like how are you handling and how do you like get through like trying to, you know, and of course like they had like ups and down. Like at one point they were like bigger, then they got smaller, then they were like in the middle, and then like the up and down. And I feel like as women, we just talk about it. We're more verbal about it, I feel like, than males are. So I am interested to see what they gotta say. But I'm about to go ask later too. Like,
yeah,
because guys have that.
I mean, because to even think, just go back to the definition of what body dysmorphia is, like it's a mental thing. So where where you make up in your mind what it is that you see or want to see, and then you start comparing yourself to others, and you start doing things to the extreme, whatever the case may be. So, yeah, how do they handle it, and what be going through their head? I'm very curious to know.
Yeah, me too.
Very curious. So yeah, tap in, y'all. Tap in,
please. We need to know. We need to know.
Okay, so. Now, so I feel like that's a good way to kind of like to wrap it up, to bring it back. So now let's just get into our accountability for next week.
You know, it's funny. I was thinking about it on my way here because I'm like, what I want to hear, because I feel like, oh, I know exactly what you to hold me accountable. Okay. I need a few people to hold me accountable, but I'm gonna have you and the podcast people help me accountable. And what's with this one? So I am been working on reading the Bible and learning. Me too. I'm doing a reading plan.
Okay, so wait, let's talk about this real quick because what do you do? Because me and my sister do it together, and we were using like this there's a podcast. Well, it is a podcast, but it's a YouTube channel.
So actually, the church that I've been attending for the last I've been really consistent last like 3-4 months. I just really connected with one of the girls there. Okay. Around the same age, and you know, she just kind of like very inspiration. Like she's like an inspiration to me, and she actually does sometimes one of the leaders when we do small groups on Wednesdays. Okay. So I actually like spoke with her like outside a small group, and I was like, you know what, I'm ready. Like, but I want to like, you know, going to church and going to Bible study on Wednesday, like I'm like I want to do my own Bible study and like learn on my own without just always people just sending me scriptures or just telling me about the Bible. I want to read it and learn it for myself. So she pretty much set me a reading plan, and the reading plan breaks it down from like the Old Testament, and then eventually we'll go into the New. But it's not even in order. It's just kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, but per like it just kind of depends on like how it's, because I'm so fresh, especially with like the Bible part of it, like reading it and understanding it. It's just breaking it down. Like she broke it down like completely. Okay. So like I mean, it's so many I have to read, and it's sometimes it's just one chapter, sometimes it's just a couple. Like it just depends. Yeah. So I want to be whole accountable. So starting from today until I don't know, for the week, we could just kind of keep touch that I make sure that I get and do like right now I think I'm in number 4. Okay. So for the rest of the week, now, so I do one every night. Okay. Or whenever I have the chance, because sometimes my days are crazy, which why I had to kind of figure out like, all right, you don't have to read the Bible just at a certain time. So whenever I get to it.
So is it a day by day thing?
Yeah, I've been doing that. Well, kind of like however I get it done, but like I've been doing day by day just so I could be consistent, and I just want to be able to start getting in that Bible every single day. Gotcha. So I'm using it an everyday thing.
Okay. So honestly, let's just let's do the accountability to the next time we record. Okay. Because then that'd be like, how many days have you completed?
Right. So that'll be like 14 days.
14 days. Cool. And it's so interesting. So the thing that made my sister do is called the Heart Dive podcast.
Okay.
That's what I think. It's what's called the Heart Dive podcast, but it's a YouTube. So she has like, so she'll give. It's supposed to be able to read the Bible in a year,
Oh, I have heard about that.
but we don't be having the time to go through those videos and do it all the time. So we kind of do it on a weekly basis. So we are like, we started this and we only on day 20, but it's like, and we have to, our schedule, me and my sister's schedule have to match up to actually discuss it
and do it
and all
together.
of that. But in between, like it, like I like it because she gives us opportunity to, like it'll be like, we just finished the book of Job not too long ago. My goodness, the book of Job is long. Never knew. But now I know. It took us forever. I was like, when is we getting to the end? But in between, like it'll be like, chapters, to say chapters 1 through 4, right? And in between, like we'll go through everything as she goes through, and then in between, like whenever we get to that point and whatever we are, she'll give us like questions and call it heart checks. And it's like, how is this applicable to our lives? How our lives and our walk with God and stuff like that. So I really, really like it. But like, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, because I like how she broke it down for me, because I think what happened with me was, I don't know, you think about a book, you think you're going to read it from front to back, but that's not really how you read the Bible. And it just doesn't work that way. So I think it was, for me, it was like every time I tried, I just always started at Genesis. I'm going to go all the way to the Bible, and then get discouraged because it's like, this doesn't make sense. Yeah. Like, I want to know what this means. So at least, yeah. So I really loved the plan that she made. So this is going to be fun. We're going to do that.
Okay, cool. Love that. Okay, so yep, hold your kind over there. Me, I'm trying to think for the next time that we see each other.
That's 14 days. That's reminding you.
You know what? And this is like so serious this time.
That laundry?
So I need to, it's not even just laundry. I need to get like my clothes organized, be it folding it, throwing them away, donating them, all the whole nine.
Okay. Also from scratch.
Like I'm trying to, because I'll be moving too. So it's like I'm trying to get rid of a lot of stuff anyways. And them clothes are my biggest enemy. I'm so serious. Like I'd be so frustrated. Like I'm thinking about it now, and when I go home, I'm gonna be just like, I might even just start cracking on it today. But like literally, for the next time we record, I need to have, like, when I say I'm trying to get down to like a minimalist wardrobe, I have so many clothes that I don't touch, that I don't wear, but I just hold on to them because maybe I might want to wear it one day. And it's a horrible learned behavior from my childhood. And I'm breaking generational curses. I am not holding on to stuff because I always had this mindset that I don't want to throw it away because what if I might need it?
Right.
And it's like, 90% of that stuff is like, if I haven't touched it in a year, I'm not gonna wear it again. No. Yeah. And if I need something else, I can always just go buy it again. Or right. Like, especially most of the stuff I have is kind of like that fast fashion stuff that I'm just holding, like, oh, I might need this. I like this. This is a cute little piece that I picked up from here, whatever. Girl, all you wear is the same things over and over. I just wear I go to work, I come home, I go to the gym, I come home. I don't even wear regular clothes, really. Right. I need regular clothes, but in order to get to that point, I need to be able to get rid of and like purge, clean, and like literally hold on to just the things that I need to hold on to. So that is what I need to be. I truly, I might be calling you over to help
I
me.
was about to say, you know how organized I am, and I might be like,
I'm
I
don't
so
play
serious,
that. Kay.
But so you know what? I could come over and help you out because what I do seasons. So like right now, all my summer and spring clothes is put away. I can't even see it get to it. And then when the winter and fall goes over, I swap them out. And then every time I swap from season, so like spring and summer be out at the same time, fall and winter stay out at the same time. And then when I swap, that's when I usually get rid of stuff. I got you, girl. I got you.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm literally like, I'm like, how do I? And I'm trying to figure out how to hold myself accountable. But yeah, we'll figure it out.
I got you.
Okay. All right. So that wraps up this week's episode of Beyond the Reps. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us again. Please subscribe, follow, share, tell your people about it. Leave us some comments and tell us about your experience. And anything you want to add?
No, that's it.
All right. So we will absolutely see
Yeah.
y'all soon.
Soon.